we can now see our machine components of our machine simulation directly inside our SolidWorks screen. If I were to go, for example, into my machine VMID, you'll note that I immediately see my machine components directly on the screen itself, as shown over here. I can even see movements as they occur when I make any changes inside my VMID. For example, if I were to go into my 2B2 over here, which is the actual back spindle as shown over here in this particular case, open up my axis and go into B2B2 as shown over here. And if I make a change, for example, on my home reference to be 90 degrees, you'll note that it will turn over here. If I do make a mistake, for example, and I write minus 90, it'll also show the term, but it'll show it now in red, showing me that I've actually gone past my limits. Now, if I were to go into Setup and click on the preview as shown over here, you can actually see the machine exactly where it's being held on the part, where the machine is actually holding the part in the first spindle over here. If I were to go into my next setup, you can see it actually switching to my second spindle over there. Now we can also see this inside our MCO. If, for example, I were to go into my MCO as shown over here, you can see the machine components here as well, as shown on the screen. Now, if I were to, for example, like to see my stock and tool inside the components themselves, all I have to do is go to my start definition and right-click on it. And we have the option here of update fixture, stock, tools, or all of them together. By clicking on this, you'll see that everything will now be updated on the screen itself. You can see all my tools here inside the turret, as well as the stock and the tool inside this turret here as well. Now, if I want to see the movements that I have inside my machine itself, I can actually just double click over here, for example, go into movements, and just click on any one of these movements. You can see the first one over here, second one. All of the movements can be seen live on the screen as we go along. Now I can also see the tool changes that I have on the machine itself if I want. For example, if I go into tool change, I can click over here, select it, choose a turning tool as shown over here, pick the turning tool from my table, say the first one over here, select it, and we can now see this tool inside the turret as well. In addition to what we've seen up until now, we can also show the part transfer in this as well. If we were to open up, for example, a simple part transfer that we have over here, double click on it, you can see we have the option of part transfer. Let's just do a simple part transfer over here. We're going to put it into the back spindle, so we see the back spindle actually moving towards the first part as shown over here, and this is seen live on our screen as we demonstrated. Next, we want to take the part and move it into our back spindle, and then we just move our back spindle to any position we need to move it in.